I'm over at a blog spot. I'll put a link up for you. I love the title of the article, "The Higher They Climb, the Harder They Fall." Now, this whole article revolves around the new moon on the 21st of this month, so it's February 21st, 2012. Now, Mars and Saturn have been in retrograde, but Mercury and Pluto are entering the picture. If you know anything about Pluto, you know that Pluto has a lot to do with government. Pluto has been lurking quietly in the background in Capricorn since the year 2008 and has in this sign of worldly power been the silent pot simmering on the back burner, ready to destroy the established world orders. It represents changes that take time but leaves nothing, absolutely nothing standing after it passes. On the new moon, the planets will line themselves up in a very unsympathetic set of aspects to Pluto, which is going retrograde anyway. So it creates a stronger opposition. As the planets move away from the new moon, the 90-degree angles will come to completion, and the strain will be felt very strongly, both by the society who wants freedom and those who want to keep them in prison. After this new moon, we will experience a quickening of events in relation to governmental and financial destruction. Get ready, people, to be shaken to the core. After the new moon of this month, it will become difficult to continue to hide things from the world. Mercury will be approaching its standstill, its conjunction with Uranus, and its eventual backwards rotation on March 12th. At about the same time, retrograde Mars will form an exact square with the silent and stationary Pluto, and there is potential at this time to experience an increase of violence, or perhaps ultimately military disarmament, or a final show of force before surrender. The Mercury retrograde will be not only electrifying, it's going to be confusing, immensely enlightening. People who have been asleep, haven't wanted to wake up, are suddenly going to find themselves awake. It's going to be massively shocking. And now this is directly going to involve not only the powers that be. They're already backstabbing each other. Many of them are already on the run. But this involves the news media. They've been lying. They've been covering things up. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a big shakeup with the journalists, reporters, television hosts going on behind the scenes. Many of these people have wanted to tell us all the truth. But you know, they are told on an hourly basis what to say and what not to say. The shakeup will be so severe that the media will realize it has to restructure and become functional and honest. This is such a massive shaking that the powers that be and many of the elite will be headed for the hills. Now, they're going to be just as surprised because of the turn of events, and many of them know what's coming. That's why you see them clearing out and heading out and going into hiding. Because ultimately, when humanity learns the truth about their fearless leaders, they will undoubtedly be somewhat surprised. People aren't going to be very happy when the truth starts emerging. Now listen to this. This is very important. It is at this point in time that the division between men occurs. Those who possess some inherent wisdom and foresight will stop trying to paddle up the raging river, while those who lack insight and refuse to give up control continue walking down the path of destruction. So we are getting ready We've already headed into it. I'm seeing it happening in people's lives all around me. There's a very great division coming. Lies are going to be exposed, falsehoods, pretenses, people saying there's something that they're not. It's all going to be exposed. Okay? Now it says we're talking about Pluto here. Pluto gives no quarter and takes no prisoners. Instead, merrily destroys everything false in its path. Okay? It's in the sign of Capricorn. Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn, which governs world power. It's the greatest bringer of change. Pluto is signaling the total destruction of government as we know it. The last time it was in this cycle was in the events from 1762 to 1778. Interesting. Saturn's over the courtrooms, but this time the judges themselves will be on trial. When the media is freed, disclosure will come. I'll put a link up for you.